So my wipers aren't working as efficiently as I wanted them to. The spring on them is very light, or it's just getting old. And I got these windshield wiper helpers from the auto parts store, and they work great. But the problem is the cap doesn't go all the way down. You know, it's got these protective caps that keeps the dirt and salt and water out from the shaft and the collar there to keep it from seizing up, which is what happens if these cars sit for a long time. The shaft will seize into the plastic collar and then it won't move, and you turn your wipers on and then the plastic just breaks off inside there. So I put these helpers on, but I don't want my windshield wipers to seize on the shaft if I park it for a couple weeks in the summertime. So what I'm doing is modifying these plastic caps to keep the water and the salt out. I already modified this one, and all I did is just take the grinder, just ground a groove into there so it accepts the spring sticking out there. So I'm gonna modify this one. So I put the spring in place and get that back on there. So it's got the inside plastic that locks it in place, and then it's got the outside cover. And the inside plastic goes in between there, in between the edges on the hinge. And the outside plastic goes over top. So just got to get it in there like that. Just like that. And then it hinges, and then it snaps back down. But then it hits on the spring here. So I already kind of marked it where I got to cut it out. So I'm just going to cut out a triangle there, just how I did it on the other side. Well, there's that one like that. So now I just got to trim this one. And there we go. I should probably cut it a little bit more out on the outside there. It's not quite going down all the way. There we go. Now it's sitting nice and flat, locked in place. It's not as strong as it once was, but it's still, you know, it's not going to go anywhere. And with that bit of a gap there, it's possible it gets a little bit more water than it normally would, but you know, definitely a lot better than without it there. And unless you want to replace the whole lower end of the wiper, that's a quick way to add the helper spring on there and still be able to close your protective caps. So on the topic of windshield wipers seizing up, one thing you could do, if you know you're going to park the car for a long period of time, or you're putting the car in storage or what have you, you can always get some WD-40 and just spray some WD-40 on there, or some penetrating oil. Spray it, let it sit, give it another spray, let it sit, and then at least you have a little bit protection from it seizing up. Yeah, just give it a little spray like that. Watch it leak down around the shaft. Why Smart didn't use stainless steel parts? Well, probably because they're more expensive. This is the one I repaired. It's all greased up. I probably don't have to do it, but just for example purposes. So yeah, that's how you can keep the protective caps on the windshield wiper arm while using helper springs on a Smart Fortwo. And it looks kind of cool. Looks like something neat on there with that big spring sticking out. I don't know. I think it looks cool.